They say some folks are born with a measuring tape in one hand and a clipboard in the other. But I never believed it until the day Aggie Periwinkle marched up our driveway, tape drawn like a sidearm, and called the cops on my wife for the crime of watering her grandmother's roses. Not kidding. If you'd told me that morning I'd end up watching police officers salute my flower-loving wife instead of slapping cuffs on her, I'd have called you crazier than a June bug in July. But stick around, because what happened next dropped 50 million jaws around the world and proves sometimes karma wears gardening gloves. See this cabin on Lake Nettlewood? It's not just wood and nails, it's family. Clara's great-granddad built it in 1924 with nothing but calloused hands and stubborn pride. Every creak in the floorboards is a story. Every window still rattles with a century of laughter and heartbreak. There's an ancient oak out front, CPLL 209, carved into the bark, our little secret anniversary graffiti. The kayak on the wall, handmade by Clara's grandpa, the year he taught her mom to swim, 1967, and I swear that old boat still smells like lake water and linseed oil. When Clara's grandma passed 5 years ago, she left the cabin to us a sanctuary from the rat race. Every Friday, we'd drive 3 hours from the city car windows, down 80s music blaring, shaking off the work week. Clara would wake up at dawn, brew coffee in a percolator older than both of us, and wrap herself in her grandma's quilt, just watching the mist rise off the lake. She'd greet the deer with a morning neighbors like she was the mayor of the wild. Me, I'd stumble out an hour later, hair sticking out like I'd licked an outlet, and she'd laugh that laugh that still gets me after 10 years. It was paradise. No HOAs, no busybodies, just loon calls and the sound of Tommy across the lake working on his What's Up social media fam intros. Kid's been vlogging since he was 8, dead set on becoming the next YouTube sensation. But then Aggie Periwinkle moved in and everything changed, one measured inch at a time. It was a Tuesday, early sun barely up Clara on the porch, in her grandma's apron, coffee steaming. Aggie showed up out of nowhere, haircut sharper than her smile leopard blouse, clipboard gleaming. And the tape measure, bright yellow, holstered like a badge of honor. She didn't walk, she marched, boots pounding out a warning. "Excuse me," she chirped, snapping out that tape like a duelist drawing steel. Aggie Periwinkle, new HOA president. Like we were supposed to applaud or genuflect. Clara didn't even blink, just sipped her coffee. "We don't have an HOA? That's why people move out here." Aggie's grin went frostbite cold. "We do now. Democracy in action." She started measuring everything: grass, kayak, bird bath, even the old tire swing. 3.2 inches of grass, maximum allowed is 3. Kayak's too close, bird bath the wrong diameter. I almost lost it right then, wanted to see how far that tape would stretch if I drop-kicked it into the lake, but Clara just watched, eyes narrow, not mad, just studying. I've only seen that look before, right before she obliterates someone in court. "These are all violations," Aggie crowed, scribbling like a madwoman. "You'll get fines." She sniffed at our cabin, wrinkling her nose. "Structure's not up to code." "When was it last painted?" 87. "My grandpa's last project," Clara answered, dead calm. "Unacceptable. Needs repainting, approved beige only." She waved a color swatch that looked like a nightmare in taupe. Then, oh, this stung, she pointed at the roses. "Decorative flora over 6 inches, gotta go. Those roses. Planted in 1924 by Clara's great-grandma. Family legend." Clara stood slow, dangerous. "Those roses stay." Aggie smirked. "Rules are rules. Mrs. Thompson, or should I say Miss Mitchell?" That pause, that tone, it chilled me. That afternoon, our neighbor, Mrs. Mitchell, 78 years old, Lake royalty, came by, hands shaking over lemonade. "She's dangerous," she whispered, eyes darting. "Drove out the Johnsons, the Patels, heck, even Pastor Dave. Files complaints, finds violations, ruins people." She lowered her voice. "Used to be a big developer, got burned bad by some lady, AG, lost everything. Now she's here taking it out on folks." Next morning, Clara's side of the bed was empty. I found her crouched behind the oak phone, out recording as Aggie haggled with a land surveyor, talking about clearing the lot, $2 million property, the current owners won't be a problem. I heard her say, "She thinks she's clever using her maiden name, but I know exactly who Clara Mitchell is. This will be my sweetest victory yet." That's when it clicked. She wanted our land and revenge. By Monday, the fines came rolling in. Every day, some new violation, grass paint, bird song before 8 a.m. I'm not making this up, kayak angle, mailbox tilt. Brad, the poor intern stuck delivering them, looked like he wanted to crawl into his oversized suit and disappear. In 5 days, $800 just for existing. Each fine came with a nervous apology, and Brad's eyes begged for rescue. Clara didn't get angry, she got organized. She cataloged every notice, snapped photos, built a binder of evidence. Friday, it got worse. A $5,000 final notice. Pay up or face forced sale. I saw Clara's hands tremble for the first time. Not fear, but pure, molten rage. She stared at her grandma's picture. "This cabin is all I have left of her," she whispered. I hugged her tight. "We'll fight." Team Thompson. She nodded steel, replacing tears. Time to show Aggie Periwinkle what happens when you come for a Mitchell woman's home. What followed was straight out of a legal thriller. Clara transformed the living room into a war room laptop, blazing papers everywhere. She dug up Aggie's past, called in favors. FOIA documents tracked HOA bank accounts. Turned out $30,000 was missing, supposedly spent on landscaping. Except you looked outside. Same scrubby grass. Embezzlement. Maybe she just needed proof. The twist came late one night, Brad trembling, laptop in hand, spilling everything. Aggie made him forge signatures to form the HOA 5 real votes, rest faked. She threatened his future, made him record everything. He handed over a USB, hours of dirt threats, and a master plan force. Out cabin owners flipped the land for a luxury resort. Our cabin target number 1. Saturday, the community meeting turned into a full-blown trial. Aggie swaggered in banners everywhere, fake smile plastered on her face. She projected photos of our violations, painted us as the neighborhood plague. Her supporters, most new folks, scared or desperate, voted to sell our home out from under us. But Clara, calm as a storm's eye, plugged in Brad's USB. Slideshows, bank statements, chat logs, $30,000 gone, 5 fake votes, plans to destroy the neighborhood for profit. The crowd turned, old-timers spoke out. Neighbors revealed harassment. The truth poured out like floodwaters. Even Mrs. Mitchell stood tall, sharing how Aggie forced her out of her first home. The room went from angry to united, and for the first time, Aggie looked scared. Then came the part you probably saw online. Aggie, desperate, called the cops, accusing Clara of trespassing, assault, even using a fake name. Sirens rolled in 2 squad cars, Officer Martinez and his partner. Tension so thick you could slice it. Aggie screamed, waved paperwork, accused Clara of everything short of arson. Martinez asked for ID. Clara, steady as a mountain, handed him a worn leather wallet. Inside, a badge. Not just any badge, Assistant Attorney General, State of Michigan. Martinez went pale, then snapped a full military salute. His partner followed suit. The crowd gasped. Tommy dropped his iPad. Viewers worldwide watched live as the world flipped upside down. Aggie tried to run, caught her own measuring tape, and landed face first in Clara's rose bush, the same bush she'd tried to have cut down. Perfect poetic justice. Martinez cuffed her for filing false reports. Harassment, fraud. Brad's USB had everything. Neighbors piled on one by one with stories and evidence. Aggie went to jail, still shrieking about lawsuits as the patrol car vanished down the road. 6 months later, a postcard arrived Aggie at a new HOA, this time under the watchful eye of a Marine colonel famous for prosecuting HOA fraud. Clara laughed so hard she cried, and Tommy begged her for a follow-up video. "What would you tell others dealing with HOA Karens?" he asked. Clara just smiled. "Document everything. Know your rights. And remember, sometimes the quietest person is the most dangerous." Aggie spent her life measuring everyone else. She never once measured herself. So was justice served, or did the story just start a new chapter? That's up to you. Drop your city below, let me know where you stand, because next time karma might be rolling up your driveway, measuring tape in hand.